Hey guys, it's Tuff here. On my previous video, when I was showing off the round 2 tuffpad test unit, I mentioned briefly a profile management app and that I would do a separate video on that, and so here we are. This is that video. Before I get going, let me just say this really quick. I'm a software engineer by trade, what we call a back-end engineer. So I do the code that I write is systems code, and I am the UIs that I have historically created have been functional, not necessarily pretty. If there's anything that's like cosmetically pleasing here, it is 100% accidental. So just keep that in mind. I would love any feedback or input from an actual graphic designer or GUI designer. That'd be great. But for now, what we've got here is functional, and it'll be what it'll be as I continue to kind of iterate on it. Anyways, one more note before we get into this is a debug build. So this developer tools window and this menu bar is visible in this build, but in the production builds they will not be. I do have some command line arguments that you can throw at the app if you want to run it from a console that will open it up this way for debugging once I start getting this into customers' hands. I'm intending on implementing some debug logging and stuff that'll be visible here in case people have issues. But just opening the app and running it, you're not going to have this dev tools window or this bar here. So just keep that in mind. I've got this open now because I want to. This will log and show the serial communication between the app and the plugged-in tuffpad that I've got on the desk that you can't see. Yeah, I think that's it. So let's just do this. So I don't have to hit this refresh list button because the app's already started and the tuffpad was plugged in before then. But that's there in case you've got multiple tuffpads for some reason, or you unplug them, plug in, and unplug and plug in the device, and you want to refresh the list. One day, or I've got it on my list of features to have that automatically update depending on USB plug and unplug events, but for now it's manual. Just keep that in mind. I've got a tuffpad plugged in, and it tells me that it's on this COM6 channel. May or may not leave that in there. That's useful for me, so I know what it's connecting to. Because often I've got multiple Teensys and tuffpads plugged into the same PC, so I just wanted to know which one I was plugged into at any given moment. So I'm going to hit connect, and it's going to show all the initialization, serial communication, what it's doing, and you'll see UI pop up, hopefully. And there we go. Yeah, so there's probably a better way to do this, and for the people who care, who understand what's happening, you'll probably laugh, but I developed my own internal serial protocol to use, so it's my own proprietary byte level protocol. So I've got mappings for different byte combinations for sending and receiving data. So what this has done is it's connected. The tuffpad communicated back and said, yes, I'm a tuffpad. And then the app asked for some information. It asked for the profiles that are stored in memory or onboard the tuffpad. It asked for the current known dead zone size. It asked for the current known boundary for the stick, and for some other stuff. And then the tuffpad communicated back and told the app all that information. So it told it the current active profile. It told it all the bindings for this profile. It told it all the bindings for this profile. It told it all the bindings for this profile, and it gave me information here for these values. And that's what happens when you connect. And just clicking through there, I should hope this is relatively intuitive as to what's going on. We've got 3 onboard profiles that you can manage here. And the keypad, the stick button, the thumb button, the keyboard mode values, I'm thinking about ripping this out. I'm not going to do that yet. I've historically had trouble making this work as well as something like Joy to Key, which is shareware or freeware. We'll see. And then the RGB profile for the LED for that profile, the RGB LED color. Sorry. Right now it's a sort of reddish color. And then for each profile. And these are live edits. So let me open. And we're on profile 1. So I'm just going to type K1 should be, oh, that's upside down. Whoops. 2, K2 should be 3, K3 should be 4. Okay, so that's that. Enter. I'm going to change these, and this is live edit. So when I change this, it updates the tuffpad over serial as to, hey, this is a new value, and it sets it in memory, kind of live. So let's change that to, I don't know, whatever, N. And if you go over here and I hit the button again, yeah, we're good. So this is live edit. The same goes for these values here. This is definitely under the advanced tab. I try to initialize the device with sane values that you probably shouldn't have to touch, but this is here in case you want to, or in case you need to. Like I'm trying to account for as these analog sticks age over time and stick drift, these values will help us combat that without having to just replace the stick outright. And I'm planning on adding a stick visualizer as well so you get live feedback as to what the thing is doing. But for now, this is what this looks like. And blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so live changes. Right now, nothing's been saved. So what that means is that change I made right here for this key is only in memory on the tuffpad. So if I disconnect and close this app and unplug the tuffpad, that change is lost. If you want to persist it or save it, that's what this button is for. And what this button does is it takes the current bindings across all profiles and this advanced tab, and it shoots it up to the Teensy and says, hey, save this stuff to your onboard flash, and that'll save it and persist it. So then you can, at that point, unplug the tuffpad, take it to a friend's house, turn your PC off, replug it back in, whatever, and those values will be saved, and you don't have to run this app to have those changes. Keep in mind this is flash memory that we're saving to, so it's got limited write. Should be similar to a USB stick or an SD card, so it's unlikely that you will expend the write lifespan of the onboard flash on the tuffpad microcontroller, but it's conceivable that could happen if you spam this a bajillion times over the course of 4, 5, 6 years. It really shouldn't happen, but it might. I'm just throwing that out there. That's why I enabled live edit, to try to preserve that as much as possible. So do your live edits, make sure it's working the way you want it, and then persist it, just as a word of caution there. And that's basically it. I wanted just basic profile management functionality on the first pass, and this is the first pass. And I think I've got that. I've got a little bit of advanced functionality. I've got a list of features that I want to add to this over time, so this will get updated over time with new stuff. I think that's it, really. You can also change the profile that's active here. Right now, it defaults to the first profile. And just to show what you can do, so you can bind a key to, if you want, I need to fix that right there. That's the wrong text for go to profile. That should be hold for profile 3. I'll fix that really quick. Oh, bug squashing during a video. Anyways, so I've got this functionality for if you want to bind a key to go to a different profile, or to temporarily hold to activate a different profile, or to cycle through the different profiles in case you want to do, relatively complicated beyond basic, kind of binding schemes for different games. Like if you're playing Battlefield and you've got a different binding set for being a chopper gunner or a tank pilot or tank driver or whatever versus just an infantry guy. You can do it. You can do it here. I'm thinking I should have wrote down a list like I did yesterday. I think that's really it to go through. This should make sense. I'm wanting to make this RGB a little bit more intuitive. Right now it's just number spinners, so you can't go below 1 or 0. You can't go above 254. And you can experiment with that and play with that to see what colors you get. It would be helpful to pull up an RGB address tool in your browser to see what colors you want. It'll spit you out the RGB value you can plug in here. I'd like to make some kind of color picker. I'll probably do that at some point. But I think that's it. I think I've said that 5 or 6 times now. Yeah, that is it. That should give everybody an idea of what's going on with this thing. Kind of just wanted to show that off. And yeah, let me know what you think. Again, if you are a GUI UX graphic designer and you've got suggestions, let me know, because I am not that. I make things work. I don't make things pretty, as I like to tell my boss. Yep, I'm going to stop talking now. Faux show. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Later.